Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Pastor Matt. I am here for our next Corona conversation, and I am talking today with Stephanie Cicero. Stephanie, you want to share a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'm Stephanie. I'm a music teacher for the Titusville Area School District. I teach elementary music at Pleasantville and Hightown, and then I'm also the director for the middle school musical.
Cool. So you want to share a little bit about how the pandemic has just affected your life?
Yeah, so we got hit pretty hard right at the beginning. For the middle school musical this year, we're doing Frozen Junior, and opening night was Thursday, March 12th. And it was the following day that Governor Wolf announced that schools were canceled. So on Thursday, everything was good. In the morning, it was opening night. I was excited. I know the kids were all excited. And then throughout the day, I kept hearing more and more things that were getting canceled or shut down. And then Broadway was shut down and, all these other things. And I started to get a little panicked, but I still hadn't heard anything. So I thought we were good. And then 3:00, I got the phone call saying that we were going to have to postpone the musical. So we were 4 hours away from opening night, which was heartbreaking, not only, for myself, but for the kids especially. But I did get to meet with them the next day because we still had school on that Friday, and assured them that we are still doing it. I don't know when, but sometime, we will still do it. So that was the biggest impact, was just, being hours away from doing something that we had all worked really hard on for a really long time, and then, not being able to go through with it. It was the right decision, but still heartbreaking.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just really hard. I think we think a lot about kind of the way the pandemic has affected us during it, but there are things that were happening heading in that now are just gone temporarily.
Yeah. Well, and, a week earlier that week, it seemed that we would be fine, and that it wouldn't be an issue, and things were just changing so quickly within those couple of days. So.
Well, I'm talking to you today because I saw that you were gathering some musical resources for kids at home, and I thought that would be a really cool thing to share with parents who are at home with kids now more often than they have been in the past, and just give them some different resources, activities they can do with their families.
Yeah, so I co-teach along with Kevin Vinson, who's also, a member of the T-Free family. And, throughout the last couple of weeks, of course, we work together every day regardless, but, we've been talking more about how to kind of make music fit in all of this, because it's not, I don't know, there's just all sorts of different focuses right now. But the one thing is that the arts are kind of what's keeping everybody going a lot of ways, just watching movies and drawing and listening to music and all sorts of things. That's what is, helping a lot of people to get through this daily struggle. So we had to create assignments for our music class, but we also wanted to make sure that kids had something to do that was music related, that was fun. And also a big thing that Kevin had talked about was making it family oriented as well. Because this is really a chance for, families to do things together and to become closer. So this was one of two choice boards that we came up with. And this is a choice board is just something that is kind of taking over the education world at the moment. It's an easy thing for kids to look at and pick from. So the idea is that they try something, one of these every day. And, you can do some of these multiple different ways, multiple different times. So I guess I'll point out some of my favorites. This year, Kevin and I, we always do a theme for music, and it was the states. So unfortunately, our concerts have been canceled here at this point, but all of our kids learned the song called 50 Nifty United States and can name all 50 states. And they worked hard on that. So one of my favorites is that, they teach a family member all those 50 states. So those are the kids just in Titusville, of course. But it's a fun song for people to learn regardless, even if they went to our school district or not. So that's one of my favorites. And then having someone read a story and acting it out while they're reading. I really like doing this in particular with like first, second, third grade age, but I mean, really, you can do it with, anybody. One of my favorites is, I always loved the Franklin books. And there's one where Franklin is scared of a thunderstorm. And that's just the perfect one to try to add sound effects to. There's different ways to make it rain, from just tapping on a table to stomping. So that can be a lot of fun. And it's also giving the kids a chance to just, get things around their house and to find. Music is everywhere. And so that's kind of a neat thing where you can take something that, typically is used to make food, and you make an instrument out of it instead. Another one that, I think is good, that parents would also probably enjoy right now, is just laying down and listening to a softer, slower piece of music.
Yeah, I bet there's some parents that are really going to love that one.
Yeah, right? If the kids are just absolutely bouncing off the wall, just say, okay, we're going to try something a little bit different and slow it down. And there's a lot of science behind that and everything, but that's a good one just in between, when you just need it. You will know when you need that one. And then one of my other favorites, now I reached out to a lot of people on Facebook and said, what are your ideas? I can come up with some, but I knew that I had a lot of other teacher friends and music teacher friends that are in the same boat I am. And one of my favorites that another teacher came up with was to sing a song for a family member and then to call them. Especially if if you've got an elderly grandparent or somebody that just cannot get out, that might be by themselves, call them and sing for them. It's something so simple, but my grandma's 95, and I know every time I call her, she's just like, oh, it's so good to hear from you. And, it might be a 2-minute conversation, but it really can make their day. And then the other part of that was to ask an older family member to teach you a song, to teach the kids a song that they remember. Because some songs stay the same from generation to generation, and then other ones change. So those were some of my personal favorites that I put on here, but of course there's lots of others, and kids can come up with their own, and just using your imagination. But kind of the idea is that just music is around us all the time. So just finding activities to go with that. And then I made a second choice board. And this one we made in particular for our special education kiddos, but you can use it, preschool age, kindergarten, and it's just all your traditional, simple songs. And again, it can be fun to just check them off, or, you can add a row to it and try to do bingo. You can change out the songs to ones that but just a way, and again, for the kids that, reading, they're not there yet, just to have the pictures is something for them to easily pick and choose from. So those were the two main ones that I'd come up with.
Yeah, those are very, very cool. So if someone's child is in one of your classes, should they have already received this in some way?
Yes, these are on our music Google Classroom for all of the elementary kids that are in Titusville.
Okay, very cool. And then Stephanie sent these to me in an email. So if you have a child who's not one of our classes, we can make sure those are attached somewhere with this video so that you can find those and use them at home too.
Yep.
All right, very cool. Well, thanks for sharing, Stephanie.
No problem.
I know things are trying right now with how school's going to happen, online stuff, so we'll definitely be thinking of you guys and praying for you guys.
Yes, thank you.
We got to come together, 'cause in the end we can make it all right. We got to brave the weather.